There are a few questions that came in through Sayado. One of it is quite related to the conversations that we're having on South China Sea. Someone asked, what do you think are the key reasons for the deterioration on cooperation on South China Sea issue? Does anyone want to take that?
Sure, I can try. Well, as Dato' Ilango said, we simply don't trust each other. Don't forget we have conflicting claims with all the other claimant states. In Malaysia's case, the one feature that we claim that is occupied by a foreign country is occupied by Vietnam. Not China, although China makes its presence felt every day in different ways. I think there is, I am a bit more skeptical about whether Malaysia can, or any ASEAN country, even the next ASEAN chair, the Philippines, can afford to get convergence on this among ASEAN member states. I have a completely different view. I think at one point of time, the ASEAN claimant states thought that ASEAN was the best mechanism to do this because it gave them more leverage against China. Well, China has exploited ASEAN's, supposed cohesion on this. Why the hell would you expect Cambodia or Myanmar or Thailand to have the same degree of interest in the South China Sea? And why would Malaysia or the Philippines give a damn about what's happening in the southern Mekong region, which is affecting mainland Southeast Asian countries? So I think there needs to be a fundamental rethink about how we approach this, but I'm not particularly optimistic of the situation. I think that there's fundamental gaps that I don't see being bridged anytime soon.
Well, let me just add something. The reason for that distrust, wasn't that the question? Yeah.
Reason for deterioration, distrust.
Yeah, deterioration. Yeah, basically, the way I look at it, it is the way we perceive China. There's a difference between a yawning gap between, say, how Malaysia perceives China's issue with South China Sea and the Philippines, for example. I think there has to be a convergence. We don't talk to each other about how we think and look at China. Philippines perceive China in a much more, as a much more of a threat, because many of their people are involved in fishing and livelihood of the sea. As not like Malaysia, we don't have that many fishermen and people who are living off the corals and all these kind of things. So obviously, Philippines is much more sensitive to incursions of the Chinese Coast Guard at the atolls and Second Thomas Shoal and all the kind of things. Malaysia's problem is just because of the oil exploration. But here, I think there's room for us to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk to the Chinese, and the Philippines. This is what I think we have been saying earlier. We need to do this backdoor shuttling. Tunku did this, at the hardest, most difficult of times. We can do this too. Philippines is not an old unknown quantity, right? So, okay.
There's also another question on how serious is the problem of aging society